Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Going out on a date when you're set up by friends is the worst. Because there's the pressure of being on the first date.
Yeah.
And then there's the pressure of screwing things up and making your friend angry. And Charles emailed us about a girl he wants to call today that was set up by one of his friends. Now, not only is that girl not talking to him, but his friend isn't even talking to him either.
Whoa, Charles.
So Charles obviously screwed up something on his date, and he wants to figure out what it was. Charles, how are you?
Hey, good, man. How are you? I'm excited
Good.
to be on your show.
Thank
He's
you,
like,
man.
good, I'm loveless, I'm friendless,
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Sounds like you killed it on your first date, man.
I killed something. I don't know what.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? What was the girl's name that you went out with?
Her name is Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Okay.
And Rebecca was set up by a friend of yours?
Yeah, a coworker friend of mine.
Okay.
And Rebecca is a friend of hers who just moved to town.
And why did your friend think that Rebecca would be a good fit for you?
Well, I don't date a lot, and my coworker knew this. But I would like to date more. I would like to have a girlfriend one day, and so I think my coworker was just trying to help me out, help her friend Rebecca out, who's new to town, and somebody could show her around.
So she's like, you don't date a lot. This girl's new to town. She clearly has nobody else to hang out with. So this could be a good opportunity for you, Charles.
Something like that.
And what did you and Rebecca do on your date?
We went to the park. Well, at first I will admit I kind of like Facebook stalked her a little bit.
I think that is totally okay.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And I saw her picture, and she was super cute, and I was almost like I'm second guessing myself now. I'm like, is she too cute for me? But I set up the date. We did it on a weekend, like a day date. I'm not the kind of guy that wants to go to a bar and get smashed or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're boring. So you're a real boring dude,
No
Charles.
wonder you don't date. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that sounds actually refreshing, Charles, to not have the pressure of a night date.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go to a bar and get drunk. I mean, it's just kind of not who you are, and it's kind of like lowering people's inhibitions. It's almost kind of tricking a girl to go with you because she's smashed. And,
Yeah. See, what you described to me is my fantasy. I love it. That's a great date to me, but apparently not for you.
No, not for me personally. I understand why, though. I mean, plus it's also not as safe at nighttime. It's dark and.
Where are you hanging out? In back alleys at night?
No, I don't know. That's when crime goes up at night.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
I understand.
Well, scary world out there.
All right. So anyway, you took her on a daytime date to the park during the day because the nighttime is too scary.
So we went on a drive. We went to the park. I'm kind of a nature-loving guy.
Cool.
I was hoping she would be too. So, we went. I brought a blanket. We went for a walk. I brought a frisbee. It was fun.
Oh,
Well,
that's
define
cool.
nature loving. Like you enjoy nature or you actually love
Make love.
nature.
I try to refrain from loving it that much.
Okay. Well, if that happened on your first date, I could see why you're not getting a call back
Yeah, you
and
love
why
a
your
tree.
coworker would stop talking to you.
No.
Okay.
I did not do that on the date.
Okay.
Okay, so how was it? How was the conversation? Was it easy?
Yeah, I thought it was great. We were laughing. We were talking. I mean, whatever you would want a date to go well,
Yeah.
this was it, I thought.
Is there anything in your mind that could have gone wrong?
I mean, again, like I said, I'm second-guessing myself. So, after the date, I drove her home. I wanted to be a gentleman, so I'm not going to go for a kiss or anything. But I was we got to her place, and I was like, hold on, don't get out of the car. And I ran around and opened the door for her.
Nice
Okay.
move, bro.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I thought so, but I don't know if maybe people don't do that anymore, or she thought it was weird. I don't know. Maybe that was nothing.
We've done second date updates before where a girl has been like, he's obviously a chauvinist because he feels like he has to open my door.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
I can do my own
Yeah, but that
stuff.
was one person. I mean, the majority of people don't feel that way.
How did you tell her to stay in the car? Maybe that weirded her out. Maybe you pulled up and you were like, stay in the car.
I didn't use that exact voice.
Don't you move.
Okay, but here's the thing, Charles. You have two women who are not speaking to you right now because of
Right.
something you did, and you literally can't think of anything other than I opened her car door.
It sounds like a great date.
No, I said, hey, could I call you again? She was like, sure.
Wow.
And I've called a couple times. It's been like 10 days. The only thing I got back was a text that said I'm busy, and that's it. And that's it. And then the coworker stopped talking to me.
Weird.
And
Do you
it's-
work directly with this coworker, so you have to see him all the time, or is it just somebody casually in your office?
It's a she, and I see her all the time. Like, I'll literally go in the break room, and she'll leave.
Whoa.
Man.
Oh,
That is...
You must have done something pretty bad.
yeah.
Man, not in my memory.
Now,
Weird.
you said you've been out of the dating world for a while. It's not because you're, like, married and they found that out, right?
No, I don't really like Tinder or anything like that. I kind of want to meet somebody through people that I know.
Traditional.
It just hasn't happened for me.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, and hopefully find out why she's not talking to you and your coworker isn't talking to you right after this when we get your second date update, okay?
Great, thanks.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Today's second dater is really living up to his namesake. In case you don't know what that music is, that's the theme to the Peanuts' Charlie Brown. And if you know anything about those stories, Charlie was always getting screwed over, having the football yanked out from underneath him, never ending with him getting the girl. And our second date updater today, his name is Charles. And Charles is going to see if he can change history and maybe do something good with his name, because he's apparently pissed off everybody that he knows. And he has no idea why. He was set up by his coworker to go out on a date with a girl named Rebecca. They went out, had fun, according to him. But now after the date, she's not calling him back, and the coworker won't talk to him. Charles, are you ready to see if you can change things for the name Charlie for good?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Look at the passion in Charles's voice. Do you think your coworker isn't just talking to you? Maybe she feels guilty that you got set up with a girl that doesn't like you or something.
Maybe. That makes sense, but we're good friends, so I
Okay.
would think she would tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be just awkward for her, like, oh, that didn't work out. Now I don't know what to say to him. You know.
He's such a sad, pathetic man already. I don't want to make it worse.
Oh, thanks, Brooke. I'm glad I called the show today.
Yeah, we are really helping you out, man. Okay. I'm going to dial the phone and get your second date update, all right?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello,
Hi, I was looking for Rebecca.
this is Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you? My name is Jubal, and I host a morning radio show called Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Do you have a few minutes to talk?
What is this about?
My name is Jubal.
Jubal?
Jubal, yes. And I host a morning
Okay.
radio show called Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's on in the morning if you can't tell. I've said it like 4 times now.
Okay. Sorry, I'm new to town. I don't really know any radio shows or anything.
Yeah, I've heard that you're new in town. Welcome.
That sounded creepy.
It's like we're the welcome committee suddenly.
How do you know I'm new?
I know a lot about you, Rebecca.
Oh, that's
man.
normal.
How do you know a lot about me?
Let
Why are
me,
you
I'll explain.
calling me?
We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. So even though you're new in town, you went out on a date recently with one of our listeners, and he emailed us to see if we could find out what happened on your date and why you don't want to go out with him again.
I'm assuming you're talking about Charles?
Yes, I am. Unless you've been on a bunch of
Okay.
dates. I don't know.
No, just one. I haven't had time, really.
Okay. Well, Charles is wondering why you don't want to go out with him again. He says he's tried to text you and you said you were busy, and then now you just stopped responding.
Yeah. Well, I am busy. I'm getting set up and situated, and this is just weird.
I understand
This is weird.
that.
I mean, I don't have many friends in town, and it's just like talking to a radio station.
Well, hey, we're your new friends now. You don't need any other friends. We're the best friends you never wanted.
Wow. Okay. Well, then that's good.
Did you like your date with Charles? Was it fun?
It was something. It was a date.
Was it
Cool.
Was it just maybe a little boring?
I mean, it wasn't the most exciting date I've ever been on. I mean,
Would you mind telling us about the date in your own words? Because we actually talked to Charles about your date. He said that you guys went to the park and had a lot of fun, so he's confused.
he's nice and all, but I don't know. I got a really creepy vibe from him.
Creepy?
Whoa.
Yeah.
We talked to him. I did not get a creepy vibe from him over the phone.
Yeah.
Well, neither did I at first, but then something happened.
What happened?
Whoa.
Well, when we went up to play Frisbee, he left his phone in the blanket,
Uh-huh.
and I noticed his screensaver was of my friend who set us up.
Wait.
Whoa.
The background on his phone was a picture of your friend.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, he said they were really good friends. Was it like a picture of him and her?
Yeah.
No, it's like a candid shot. Like, she didn't even know it was taken. It's weird.
Whoa, wait a minute.
So it looks like he just took a picture of your friend, his coworker, and saved it as the wallpaper on his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ask him about it?
I did. I mentioned it. I was like, oh, that's Catherine. He's like, yeah. And then he started like talking about her and how close they are, but I know from her that they're not that close. So that was creepers number one.
Yeah.
And is there number two? Because that's creepy enough for me.
I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like we're jumping to conclusions.
Well, he started gushing about her and just saying how amazing she was and talking about, like, had it been a different time, who knows what would have happened between them.
Oh.
It felt like awkward.
So on your first date with him, he's talking about how much he loves your friend, basically?
Yeah.
Whoa. And when you talked to your friend, she had no idea that Charles has a crush on her.
No, she had no idea. She said that they talk, but it's never anything deep.
Whoa.
So, and then I told her that he had the picture on his phone, and she was like, what?
That explains a lot, Rebecca, because not only have you not been talking to Charles, neither has his coworker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's like creeped out now, and she was like, the first day back at the office, she tried to avoid him. Like,
Yeah, he told us that.
I feel bad for him.
You feel bad for him. It sounds like he took a candid picture of some girl and put it as a screensaver on his phone. That's creepy behavior.
He doesn't have very good social etiquette, but he obviously has a crush on someone that's not you.
So if somebody has a crush on somebody, they can take a picture of them?
No,
All right, well, how about
Weird.
this, Rebecca? I do have to let you know that Charles is actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
are you serious?
Yes, I am. Charles, you there?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I need to explain myself.
Yeah, I think you do, Charles.
Catherine and I are just friends, and I told you that on the date.
Yeah, well, I don't have a screensaver of my coworker on my phone.
It's not unusual to have pictures of your friends on your phone.
Yeah, but as a screensaver, that's kind of strange.
It's not that way. I mean, I see her all the time, like as we walk to the office. So it's like a shot of what I see.
So
You took wait, hold up. Sorry, Charles, you took a photo of what you see on a daily basis when you walk by your coworker?
Yeah. I took a photo of my friend as I see her in the office.
Does she know that you took that picture?
I mean, that's not important. It's just a picture of a friend.
I think that is kind of important, Charles.
Yeah, that's important. She doesn't know, obviously, and I told her what the picture was, and she doesn't even remember you taking it. It was just like her with a cup of coffee with her hair like falling into her mouth. Like, I mean, it's weird.
I can't see her having a problem with it.
She's not talking to you. I mean, it's obviously kind of creepy.
I mean, I don't think he's meaning to be creepy. I just think, Charles, you obviously have a crush on your coworker.
No, I don't. We're just friends.
You said at another time that you guys might have been together. Had things worked out differently, that you would be together. So
It's not another time. It's this time. It's this time now, and we're just friends. I mean, in another time, I could have been with Angelina Jolie. I'm speculating.
okay, well, no matter what, it's totally inappropriate on a first date to talk about how in love you are with somebody else when it's supposed to be about me. You know, I mean, that's just weird.
I did not talk about how I was in love with her. I said that we could have been in love, but we're just friends.
Charles, you shouldn't bring up love in another woman's name like that unless it's your mom on a first date.
I was just talking about how much I adore Catherine, her friend, which I think she would appreciate.
Okay, you were talking about her hair, how shiny it was. You were talking about how strong she is, the yoga she does. I mean, you went off about it. It was not like a normal friend conversation. It was like you had studied every inch of her, which is weird.
She set us up. She knows me.
Not when I'm talking to her. She says that she doesn't know you that well. She said you're just coworkers.
I can't believe you even told her all that I talked about her and then I have a picture on my phone. That was a conversation with you, not her.
Okay, well, she's my friend, and if somebody has a creepy picture of someone on their phone, I'm going to tell her. She's my friend.
I told you that in
like
confidence.
creepers.
I told you that in confidence.
Hey, Charles, if you're not okay, if your picture isn't creepy, why did you have to tell her in confidence?
Because you have different conversations with different people about different things.
Okay.
Charles, I feel bad for you right now. You're learning a lot of stuff about yourself. I don't feel like you're creepy. Maybe you just need to admit that you did some things that were wrong according to social norms.
I don't think it's wrong to have a picture of your friend.
Hey, Rebecca, would you like a second date with Charles? We will pay for it.
No.
No?
Oh, Charles.
No. I don't think so.
Charles, you need to confess your love to your coworker friend.
I told you guys, I'm not in love with her. She's just my friend. And she happens to be like cool and awesome and pretty and like I'd like her a lot, but that doesn't mean we're anything more than friends. We're just friends.
Okay. All right. We got it, Charles. Rebecca, thank you for answering the phone and welcome to town.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 says, that girl sounds super insecure. I don't know if it's that or if she's correct and that the dude she went out with has a crush on his coworker. Talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, this dude Charles was set up by one of his coworkers and he went out with a girl named Rebecca to picnic in the park. Afterwards, both Rebecca and his coworker wouldn't talk to Charles anymore. So we called Rebecca and she told us that she got a really creepy vibe from him. At one point, Charles left his phone on the picnic blanket and Rebecca noticed that the screensaver was a candid photo of their mutual friend who had set them up. He had just taken a random photo of her and was using her as the background on his phone. Charles didn't deny the photo, but he insisted that they were just friends. And after that, he went on to praise his coworker for being cool, pretty, and awesome, and said that they could have been in love, but they weren't because they're just coworkers. But it sounds like he's in love with her.
I don't think he's very self-aware.
No.
Yeah.
In the end, no second date update. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, just email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
It's
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today let his emotions get the best of him on his first date. And now I don't even know why he's on the phone to do a second date update. If I were him, I would not want to see this girl again. I actually don't even think I'd want to go in public again.
It's that
but
bad?
regardless, he emailed us and wants to do a second date update. His name is Keith. What's up, Keith?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh my God, Keith, I feel like you should be embarrassed for yourself, but I don't really know why yet.
Yeah,
Your email was crazy, man. I cannot believe what actually happened on your first date. We'll get into that in just a second. But first off, how'd you meet the girl that you want to call today? What's her name?
Allison.
Allison. So how did you meet Allison?
We met through an online dating site.
Okay, that's pretty normal.
I just haven't dated very much, and my friends finally convinced me to start doing some online dating. And I tried a couple of the free online services, and just they were terrible. I had terrible experiences.
Yeah, the free ones are never good.
He sounds like the memory is still haunting him right now.
Oh yeah, PTSD. One girl I met within the first 5 minutes of our date, she asked me how much money I made.
Whoa.
Oh. Do you make a lot of money? I realize it's the first couple minutes we've met, but now I want to know.
Yeah. Having flashbacks. And when I wouldn't tell her, she literally was like, all right, well, this is done. And she left, and it was over.
Wow.
I can't believe you even continued online dating after such a horrible experience.
I know. And then the worst part is it didn't get any better. I met this other girl on a date, and she brought her dog, and I kid you not, she talked to the dog more than she talked to me.
Oh, man.
All right, so you've had a bad run.
Yeah, on these free. So I finally was like, okay, I'm going to sack up. I'm going to pay for like a paid service because maybe the quality will be better, you know? So
Right.
Is this the first date that you went on off of that paid site?
Yeah.
Oh.
And this one sounds like it went very well. I mean, at least for you.
Yeah, comparatively speaking, it started out great. Met Allison. We went to brunch.
Oh, that's a fun date.
Yeah, and just from the moment I saw her, instantly I knew like there was something there. She was gorgeous. I couldn't believe it.
Is
Okay,
this
and then
now-
right off the bat, she didn't ask you how much money you were making, or she didn't have a dog with her, so that's a plus.
She's off to a great start.
But I feel like you've lowered your standards so much compared to the other incidences that you had.
Yeah, I mean, I know my standards had been kind of lowered, but she was like better than I ever would have expected. She was smart, she was cute, she was sweet, and she just seemed normal. She just seemed like a normal person that I had a really great connection with, and it kind of caught me off guard, and I just was like starting to feel like overwhelmed, but in a good way. Like I was swooning, and I just got caught up in the moment, and that's when I think I messed up.
Yeah.
What could you
Tell everybody what happened and then explain why you did this.
Okay, just try and understand all the context. So, so we meet, we're hanging out, the date's going great, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And she gets up to go to the bathroom. And at this point, I'm like, my heart is just like overwhelmed, like it's overflowing. I'm like, she's the one. Like she has to be. I know it sounds crazy, but I felt it. And so while she was in the bathroom, I decided to do something crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So when she gets back, she sits down and she looks at me and she can kind of tell I have something I want to say. So I look to her and I say, look, I know we just met, but there's something I need to tell you. And she says, okay. And I straight up told her I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I'm breaking out in hives just even hearing that. And I love love.
Yeah, no, I know. It sounds crazy, even me saying it right now. But I don't know. I just was in the moment. I couldn't help it. It's like I would have regretted it forever if I didn't. I made a ring out of a paper napkin, and I got down on one knee in the restaurant.
And did everybody see this, or was it just you
Oh,
two?
yeah. People were like applauding. They were smiling.
What did she do?
She, well, I could tell she was shocked. I don't think she saw that coming.
No, I guarantee she didn't.
Did she think that you were joking?
No, I mean, she knew. There's no, like, I was dead serious. She could see it in my face.
How did she react?
Gosh.
She was calm. She didn't, like, freak out, but she's kind of looked at me after everyone quieted down and was nice about it, and she was just kind of like, Keith, this is our first date.
And what did you say to her?
I was like, I know, but I just feel this, and I can't deny it. And she was like, I think I should leave, and then she left.
Yeah, because
And-
Keith, you sound crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just going to lay it out there.
I mean, I know how I sound.
Did she leave you right there in the restaurant by yourself?
Oh yeah, I finished my eggs Benedict alone.
Who wouldn't have left? You've got a crazy psycho stalker proposing to you within like the first hour of meeting someone.
I mean that kind of thing happens, right? You've seen rom-coms. When you know, you know. And I really thought she felt the same way.
What?
Maybe she did. Maybe, you know what, she ran right out of the restaurant to shop for a wedding dress.
She's been busy planning this whole time, and that's why she can't get back to him.
Yeah, probably. That's
What
probably it.
what did she ever do to make you think that she thought that she should marry you and get engaged right there on your first date?
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question. So when we were talking, I like to go to comedy shows, in my spare time, and I told her that, and she wanted to come with me. I've never met a single woman who was excited about.
So that means
idea of that.
that you ask for her hand in marriage on a first date?
Yeah, well, I guess I read it wrong. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm guessing you haven't talked to her since this date.
No, and I have tried very hard.
Yeah.
I know she's the one. That's the thing. Like, and I should have just waited. I should have played it cool.
Yeah.
I should have held my tongue, but I couldn't.
All right, well,
Whoa.
we'll play a song, come back, get her on the phone, and see if we can get you guys a second date, and then maybe you can get married after that date, okay?
Oh, that would be amazing.
All right, well, we'll get your second date update right after this. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
You know what I'm hearing in today's second date update? Wedding bells.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. I feel like this is going to be the first ever second date update that ends with a couple getting married live on the radio over the phone.
Wow.
If you just tuned in, Keith is on the phone. He wants to call Allison. They met online, went out for some brunch. He got a little wrapped up in his emotions and actually proposed to her on their first date. And then she stormed out. He hasn't talked to her since. It's obvious why she's not talking to him because she thinks he's a weirdo who proposed on the first date. But Keith, here's my advice to you, man, before we make this phone call. If you fall off that horse, you get right back on.
Oh.
When we get her on the phone and you talk to her, propose again, Keith. Just keep proposing. She'll eventually say yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how that works, but
I don't know, man. I think you should just go for it one more time.
Keith, what's your plan here? Apologize?
I mean, I've already apologized so many times on her voicemail and through text message, so I think she understands I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just want a chance to explain.
All right, here we go. I'm going to dial her phone number right now, okay?
Look, before you call her, if you guys can like have my back on this, that would I need all the help I can get.
Yeah,
So,
you really do in this second date update. I'm not going to lie to you. You need all the help you can get. Okay.
please.
I'm dialing her phone number right now. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, I was looking for Allison.
Yes, this is Allison.
Allison, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Who's this again? I'm sorry, I'm not...
This is Jubal. I host the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, okay, good. Well,
lot of people
it's
know.
a radio show. It's pretty much the only explanation I can give you there is a little bit of talking, a lot of crappy music, and we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. I'm assuming you've never heard of that either.
Not familiar with it.
You went out on a date recently with a guy named Keith.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Keith told us about your date.
Oh, really? What do you know? Do you know that he proposed to me?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told us all about that. He says that he feels bad, but he also wanted to get you on the phone and tell you that he liked you a lot and wanted to see you again.
Really?
Let me ask you a question, okay? How did you feel when he proposed to you on your first date?
I thought it was really weird.
I feel like that's an understatement.
Definitely.
Has that ever happened to you before?
Oh, come on.
No, definitely not.
Was it scary, creepy, a little bit of both?
It was crazy. I mean, when you picture getting proposed to when you're young, a little girl, you don't exactly picture it happening on the first date at brunch.
You don't?
No.
Weird. Okay.
So
Yeah, he told us all about your date, and he said that he feels really bad, and he's tried to apologize to you, and he just wanted to be able to talk to you again to see if you'd go out with him.
I mean, he should feel bad. What was I supposed to do?
Say yes and marry the guy?
so
Right.
dumb. Was there any part of you that thought like, well, it's romantic?
No, I was completely shocked. It was one of those things where you just pause. It took me about 3 minutes to even get a reaction, and I didn't even know what to think.
So I'm guessing that the reason you aren't calling him back for a second date is because of the wedding proposal. Was there anything else?
Does there need to be another reason?
I don't think so. That's enough of an explanation. You know, Keith did talk to us, and he doesn't sound like a weird guy. He just says he got caught up in the moment, and he was super excited because you're like the best girl he's gone out on a date with ever, and he handled it the wrong way.
That's sweet that he says that, but I mean, we were vibing, we got along, we had, a good connection at first, and I felt the spark, but when he broke into tears and started proposing, I thought he was crazy.
Yeah.
Switches it up a
I would
little.
Yeah, it changes things a little bit. Changes your whole vibe.
Yeah.
Allison, I do need to let you know that Keith is actually on the other line and wants to talk to you.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Hey, Allison.
Oh my God. What do you want?
I just want a chance to explain myself. I told you I'm sorry. I know that what I did was crazy. I know it was insane. I got caught up in the moment. I'm an emotional person, and I don't have a good excuse. I just got caught up in the moment.
It's not the 1920s. I mean, you don't just meet somebody and marry them off in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, you're right. I get that. But can you honestly say you weren't, like, feeling anything? Like, I can't be the only one who was feeling something.
No, I was. I mean, I liked you at first, and you seemed normal, and I definitely felt a connection. But when you broke into tears and proposed, I just thought you were crazy.
Okay, that makes sense. That's totally fair. I'm not crazy. I've had some terrible experiences dating in the past, and, like, you were so cool and normal, and I just felt it, and I got lost in that moment. I got caught up in it.
I feel like if that's the kind of guy you are, then who knows what other reckless decisions you'll make down the line.
Oh, no.
Dude, red flag is what she's saying.
I understand. Yeah, I get it. I understand how that could be a red flag or how I could seem crazy and unstable. I'm not. Like, you want to call my friends, and I have people who will vouch for me. Just
You want to supply references to Allison?
I will. I think this is important. I don't want to lose this potential relationship just because I messed up on the first date.
I mean, it's a shame because I liked him too. I'm just not looking to get married tomorrow. I'd like to date someone for a little while before we talk about marriage.
So you did like him, though, before?
Yeah, I did.
Well, then why don't you give it one more shot and go out on another date? Would you like to go out on a second date with Keith? We will pay for it.
Come on.
Allison, before you answer, I need you to know I did watch a couple rom-coms on Netflix the week before we went out, so I was in an emotional place already.
Blame it on the rom-coms. I love it.
It's like Katherine Heigl just gets to his heart, man.
Allison, will you go out with Keith again?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. This whole thing is just so weird.
Come on.
You cannot blame her, you guys.
Allison, the only thing I'm proposing right now is a second date. I just want to do this the right way and forget about the first date and just move forward. That's all I'm asking.
Allison, can you forget about the wedding proposal on your first date and go out with Keith one more time? I know that's a lot to ask, but do you think you can do it?
It is. If you guys think it's a good idea.
I do. I think it's a great idea. At least see one more time how he handles himself. I mean, he's not totally crazy.
See, right there. You said he's totally crazy. I'm going to change my mind again. I'm going to go back.
I said he's not totally crazy.
Yeah, but
he just got a little worked up, you know?
You're saying partially crazy, though.
Everybody's partially crazy. And you can't find somebody that's fully sane.
Yeah, no, I just can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
No? Oh, man. All right.
Come on.
What happened? We were there, and then
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
So close.
What did we learn? What have we learned, though? Okay, this is all about learning. What did we learn from today's second date update?
that love isn't real.
No.
That's so sad.
We've learned
Keith.
that, but we've also learned no rom-coms before your next date, okay?
Oh, Keith.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Second date updates can be about a lot of things. They can be about a love that somebody feels like they have lost, that walked out of their life. They can be about righting a wrong on a date.
Yeah.
Just calling up to say, I'm sorry, that was bad. And sometimes they can just be about getting your money back.
Oh, whoa. We've never had a refund date before.
That's why Evan is on the phone today to do a second date update. Evan wants his money back. What's up, Evan?
Hey guys,
I'm all right, I'm just looking to get my cash back.
Okay, wait, before we go any further, we're not talking about any illegal prostitution deal that went wrong, right?
No prostitution. This is just food. I'm looking to get paid back for some grub I did not know I was spending money on.
And you know how many dates I've been on, Evan, where I spent a bunch of money on dinner? I'm like, man, I wish I could get my money back. So kudos to you for using our radio show to do that.
Yeah, it's the only thing I could think of.
Well, let's start by talking about the girl that you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name is Chrissy.
Chrissy, okay. And how did you meet Chrissy?
I met Chrissy because she's a local at the bar I frequent, kind of like my watering hole,
Okay,
nice.
so you've run into her before, or was that the first time you've met her is when you asked her out?
We've run into each other before.
Okay.
All right. And then how did you ask her out finally?
Well, one day I came to go get a drink after work, and she just sat down next to me. And I'd always thought she was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, we're grabbing a drink and chatting.
Okay. And where'd you guys go on your date?
We went to this Greek restaurant.
So how did dinner go?
Well, I got to be honest with you guys. We were having a good time until we sat down for dinner. And I should note, she asked to meet me directly at the restaurant instead of picking her up, which was, seems a little more like the typical course of action.
Sure.
And we sit down at dinner, and she orders every appetizer on the menu
Whoa.
Wait,
and 3 full entrees.
What?
wait, hold on. How many appetizers are on the menu? Is there like 2 or?
Like 6 types of hummus, chickpeas and grilled lamb, and I don't even know.
What? Why? Why did she do that?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the hell? So I ended up asking her, you are really hungry. What's with all the food? And she looks at me and says, well, my kids, first mention of ever hearing that she had kids, have never had Greek food.
Oh, so she's ordering to bring food home to her children.
Yeah, she wants it all boxed up so she can bring it home for them.
And did she make you pay for this entire bill?
Yeah, I was expecting her to at least kick in some money, and she handed me the whole check.
So that's awesome. You bought her kids dinner and you didn't even intend to. That's very nice of you.
And the whole thing turned out to be $165.
Wow.
Okay.
At a Greek restaurant? That's
Wait.
a lot.
And I just had a salad. That's all I had.
Did you say anything to her about it? I mean, I would hope if I were in that situation, I'd be like, hey, I'll pay for your dinner, but do you mind paying for your kids' dinner?
No, I didn't. I was so flustered at the time. I just paid it.
Okay, is there any way that she is out of a job, can't afford to feed her children or something?
I don't think so. I don't know why she didn't offer to pay, but it kind of seemed like she was using me and the fact that I like her to get her to pay for dinner.
Girls will do that.
How did the date end with her?
The crazy thing is the date didn't end there. It kept going.
Where did you go next?
She demanded that we get more drinks together at another bar down the street.
Did she take those drinks in to-go cups so she could take those back to the kids too?
I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen.
How long were you hanging out with her after you bought all that food?
Like another hour or 2.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Are you just a man who can't say no?
I was so confused inside, but I liked her, so I didn't know what to do. I got very nervous.
So how did it all end then? Like, what was the moment you guys said goodbye to each other?
Well, we're paying for everything, and she starts talking about how all men are just children who are trying to find their mothers.
What?
I don't even know where this came from.
Okay, wait. So the check comes, and that's what she brings up? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, she starts venting about how all men are just children looking for their mothers.
Interesting.
But why would they not know where their mothers are?
I know where my mom is.
All the men in my life know exactly where
You're
their mom-
telling me. Obviously, the lady has issues. I don't know why she was saying that. And then she gets a text from her babysitter.
Okay.
And the babysitter wants her to come home immediately because she's already an hour or 2 over, and she leaves me with the bill.
So did she just cut like that? Like she just left right away?
Boom, out of there.
All right, so you don't necessarily want a second date. You just want to call her and go, you have to pay for the money that I spent on our date.
Yeah, she stiffed me on 2 bills.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and try to collect your money.
Yeah, thank you. I need to be reimbursed with this.
All right, this should be interesting. We'll do it right after this. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
As somebody who's gotten a lot of calls from bill collectors in their time, I'm excited to be on the other end of the phone today. So that's pretty much what today's second date update is. We're trying to collect a debt. Evan is on the phone, and in case you missed the first part, he went out on a date with a girl named Chrissy. They went out to a Greek restaurant, and they sat down to order food. She ordered pretty much everything on the menu, and he asked her why, and she said she wanted the extra food to bring home to her kids. 1, she didn't tell him about the kids. 2, she made him pay for all that extra food, and now he wants to call her to tell her that she owes him money.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, are you about ready to make the phone call?
I am.
I forgot to ask Evan, how many kids does she have?
Just 3 kids.
Whoa, that's a big surprise.
She's deep in children.
3 whole children.
What if when we get her on the phone, we can come to some sort of a compromise, like she takes care of the tip? Would you be happy with that?
No, she needs to pay for the whole damn meal.
All right. Well, I'll dial her phone number right now and get her on the phone then. Let's not waste any more time.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is Chrissy there?
Yeah?
Hi, Chrissy. This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
What?
This is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
And you're calling for me?
Yeah, your name's Chrissy, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I'm calling for you. Did you recently go out on a date with a guy named Evan?
Oh, I did.
Yep.
Is he okay? Did he die?
No, he didn't. Are you hoping that he did?
A death call?
No, this is just like super weird.
You're the Chrissy that I'm looking for. You definitely are. You went out on a date with a guy named Evan, and Evan is a listener to our show.
Okay.
All right. And after your date with Evan, he emailed us, and he wanted to see if we could get you on the phone to talk about something.
Okay, why didn't Evan just call me?
I'm not sure. Maybe he felt like this would be a conversation better for you and I to have.
All right, that sounds pretty dumb, but whatever.
Evan told us about your date,
Yeah?
and he talked about how you guys went out to a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yep. He said he really enjoyed it. He thought you were really cool.
Cool.
Okay, but he did say there was one problem. Apparently, you ordered a bunch of food.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is the food that you ordered, I guess, was to take home to your kids.
Yeah, Paisley, Brian, and Jack. So what is the problem?
He feels like you sort of wronged him in making him pay for the entire bill, basically buying food for your family.
Are you kidding me right now?
No.
This is a joke, right?
No, I'm not. Not at all. He emailed us.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he said he wanted us to call you today to ask you to pay him back for the money that he spent on the extra food.
What?
Yep.
Who wants to deprive children of food? What the hell is wrong with him?
Yeah, but he feels like he was on a date with you, so he didn't have a problem buying your meal. It was just when you ordered.
And it's myself and Paisley and Brian and Jack. Like, that's the deal.
But you gotta understand, he didn't even know you had kids going into this date.
Look, if someone's going to take me out, they have to accept me for who I am, and I am a mother, first and foremost.
Right.
So I don't really understand what the problem is, and I think he's got some balls asking for his money.
You honestly didn't offer to pay for any of the food that you brought home.
No, I believe in chivalry. Like, open doors, pull out chairs, pay for the check.
Yeah, but paying for your meal is one thing. Paying for extra food so you can bring it home to your kids is another, don't you think?
Excuse me, am I on trial here?
No, we're literally just calling so he can get his money back because he feels like you owe him money for that.
Wow, that's pretty pathetic.
Are you? No, is it like you're going through a hard time right now and you just need help?
Hard time? No, I don't need help. No, I have a job. My kids have never had Greek food, so I thought it was a great opportunity to take them some. So really, I don't understand what your problem is.
It's just an interesting situation. I've never heard of anybody ordering extra food for their kids and then making their date pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, then you've never been on a date with me, and that's probably very likely not going to happen.
You sure? I was thinking about asking you out right now.
The thing is, I'm a mother, so my kids are always going to get their meals when they need them. So if I'm going to go out with you, I need to make sure that they are fed. Does he have a problem with that? Of course they're going to come first.
But
He does have a problem with it, yeah.
Basic manners.
Basic manners? Are you a woman hater? We're supposed to be on the same side. What are you talking about?
But your reasoning doesn't even make sense because by the time you got home, which apparently you were 1 to 2 hours late for the babysitter, which is rude in and of itself, your kids were long past dinner time.
Excuse me, how the hell do you know all of this?
That's because we talked to him about your date and he told us all that information.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's actually on the other line and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yep. Evan, are you there?
Hey,
Wow. Hey,
I'm
that's
here.
all you have to say? Hey, I'm here.
Chrissy, I'm pretty upset. I'm going to be honest with you. I really want
You
my
know
money
what,
back.
Evan?
Yeah.
It takes a real scumbag to try and take food away from children and complain about what you paid for it.
Whoa.
I didn't know I was paying for 4 people on a 2-person date, though. 5 people.
That's really pathetic, Evan.
What's pathetic is lying about your intentions on our date.
My intentions were clear. I liked you, and I thought you liked me. So
I just didn't know that I was paying so much money for a 2-person date, and I'd really appreciate it if you chipped in. I just think it's crazy to expect me to pay that much.
I think it's crazy that you have to call up a radio station to fight your battles. That's pretty cowardly.
Oh.
What kind of man are you, Evan?
Dang.
Wow.
I'm a real man.
Oh, my God.
Way to state your case there, Evan.
If you were a real man, you would have paid for both bills and then asked me out on another date.
Whoa.
I didn't expect that those dinners would clear me out for the month.
The month? Oh, God, Evan, are you poor?
Whoa.
I'm not
Wow.
poor, but I'm not Warren Buffett either. Your expectations of me are ridiculous, and any guy who's going to accept that doesn't have their head on straight. And I think that you should pay me back part of that dinner, and I think then we will be even.
Oh,
Steven.
poor baby, getting all defensive.
Defensive is one way to put it, but another way to put it is sticking up for myself.
Well, Evan, you're not getting any money from me.
Well, Chrissy, I would like to ask if you go on a second date with Evan. We will pay for it, so Evan doesn't even have to worry about it. Would you go out with Evan again?
The only way I would ever go out with that again is if we agreed up front that he will take me and my children together so I don't have to deal with another radio embarrassment.
Oh.
At least she's upfront about the deal this time.
Evan, will you take her and her whole family out for dinner again?
Sure, I'll take her, her kids, the Queen of England. I'll take them all out. Everybody on my dime.
That sounds like a really nice date.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, congratulations, you two. I guess you guys are going out again. You're a great man, Evan.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I thought you were really saying yes. I thought the Queen of England was going to come along and everything. That's sad.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
A lot of hate on the text message board at 78592 about today's second date update. Everybody is calling the woman from today's second date update pathetic, a horrible person. Somebody texted in and asked if she's a dominatrix. I don't know why you would pose that question, but who knows?
Well,
Maybe you can do an internet search and find out. It seems like you're interested in something other than the second date update. But if you missed today's second date update, this dude Evan went out with a girl named Chrissy. They went to a Greek restaurant and she ordered a bunch of food so that she could bring the leftovers to her kids. Not even the leftovers, just dishes, just whole dishes to her children. Evan felt like he was tricked and wanted her to pay him back. We got Chrissy on the phone, and she was appalled that Evan would complain about feeding her children. She said, if somebody's going to take me out, they need to accept me for what I am. I'm a mother.
Wow.
Yeah, I really thought we were going to get her on the phone and it was going to be some sad story about how she's a struggling single mom with 3 kids and needed some help. Instead, she was just making fun of him and calling him poor.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, lady.
Calling him an
where's
idiot.
just like a thank you, maybe?
Yeah.
Or I totally understand. I'm so sorry.
It's like, I get paying for the kids, by the way, but that's if they're on the date.
Yeah,
Right, if
if
they're
the kids
with
came
you.
along, you could buy them dinner.
Totally.
Dude, I don't believe her. She's not taking those meals to her kids. I think she's eating them.
Just eating them all.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
Meal prep.
I think she's just embarrassed to say how hungry she really is. There's
two
no
of
shame in
them
being hungry.
Argued back and forth for a while about who was right. In the end, she says no matter what, she's a package deal. If you take her out on a date, you have to buy food for her kids, even if they're not there.
Hey, you know her kids are going to be like 30 years old eventually, and she's still going to be pulling this crap.
Oh, yeah, she will be. She'll be like 60 years old, still single probably.
Yeah.
And still trying to get extra food to bring to her kids. Ultimately, there was no second date update and no refund for Evan. He just spent a bunch of money to buy her food for herself and her children, and she doesn't feel bad about it
And
at
he
all.
still did it, if you think about it. I mean, he's still, like, I don't know. Sorry. I don't know what I'm saying there.
Yeah, he still bought foods for the kids, so
Well,
I can't
you
believe
should
it.
feel proud about that. He's feeding children. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
It's always awkward when you're out on a date and then somebody from your past shows up.
Oh my gosh, yes.
One time I was out on a date, and then my old imaginary friend from high school showed up, Spaghetti Larry. And then Spaghetti Larry started hitting on my date, and he and I got into an argument. And before I know it, my date's running out of the place, and Spaghetti Larry and I are in a fist fight. And then I'm end up in handcuffs, dateless at the end of the evening.
Damn it, Larry.
Spaghetti Larry always ruins everything.
That guy.
And Kyle, who's on the phone to do a second date update right now, ended up running into somebody from his past while he was out on a date. Not sure if it was his imaginary friend or somebody else, but Kyle, who did you run into when you were out on your date?
I bumped into my ex.
Oh, the
I was
worst.
really going to
Yeah.
hope you were saying like your
friend.
ex-teacher or your ex-boss.
That's worse than getting into a fist fight with your imaginary friend on a first date. So tell us before you get into running into your ex, where'd you meet the girl that you went out with?
I met her on Tinder, though. Like, I had good vibes from her from her photo. Not to sound pervy, but, it was good. Like, we both swiped. We both swiped to each other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we met up for a couple of drinks at this local bar, and this girl, Megan, she's great, beautiful. We were vibing, so then I went to the bar to get some drinks, And then right there, lo and behold, I saw my ex, Kathy, who I just broke up with, like, a month ago. So still fresh. Yeah.
I thought this was like an old ex.
Yeah.
And did you guys leave things on good terms, or was this a bad breakup?
Yeah, it was pretty messy. Like, she's been stalking me. She's been talking to my friends. She's been calling my parents, seeing, like, how I'm doing. And I've blocked her from my phone. I've blocked her off Facebook, and she's still, like, trying to get in my life through other people. And it's just, like, I'm just trying to just cut her off. And I don't know. That's what kind of annoyed me when I saw it at my favorite bar. I'm like, this is my bar. Like, I brought you here the first time, like, we dated. Like, why are you here again? Like,
Yeah. That's what happens in breakups. Somebody always gets the bar.
Yeah.
right.
And so this was your bar, and she was there probably waiting for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, she probably was.
Whoa.
So she's all drunk. She comes over to me and just starts, like, bawling and, like, hugging me and saying, like, we could still make it right and all this and that. And I'm just like, dude, I'm in a date right now. Stop. It was very excruciating.
Did the girl that you were out on a date with see her talking to you?
Yeah.
I have no idea because I brought her to the back because she was starting to make a scene and everyone was looking. So I was like, all right, let's just talk in the back,
Oh, man.
Did you get her to leave after you guys went to the back?
I finally calmed her down and I got her out.
How long did this go on? How long was Megan sitting there while you're in the back trying to calm down your ex-girlfriend who's in tears?
I was trying to just get her out, like, as soon as possible, but I don't know. It almost became, like, half an hour.
like 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Was she still waiting for you at the table when you got back?
That's the thing. Like, when I went back, she was gone.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
If you see your date go into the back with another woman, chances are you should probably leave.
Yeah, and that's what pissed me off because, like, I didn't get a chance to explain the situation. So I actually texted her, right? And I was like, hey, where you at? You know? And she texted me back, nice try. I don't play like that.
Oh, no.
Okay. So she definitely saw you go back there with your ex. Probably doesn't even know the whole situation and thought something else was going on.
Yeah, she probably thought I was macking on some other chick when I was trying to get a drink, and she probably thought, oh, I'm a player. Like, I'd probably think the same way, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I would think the same thing if that happened to me. Was that the last thing you heard from her, just that text, or did you guys talk more?
That was it. Like, I texted her, let me explain, but just a wall of silence.
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean, there's so many red flags there. Even if you weren't hitting on another person, like there's a crazy ex involved. Even then, that explanation. Yeah. I mean, baggage. It just. Are you ready to date?
Yeah, I've been ready to date for the past 6 months since I was dating Kathy. Okay, she's a psychopath, and like that's why I'm calling you guys because like I want to move on, and Megan's awesome, and I just want a second chance because like I get it, it's the first impression, but like that's not me.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Right in the middle of a second date update, and if you're just joining us, Kyle is on the phone, and Kyle basically went on a first date with his ex-girlfriend. Because he ended up spending more time with her than he did with the girl that he actually was out with. He met a girl off of Tinder. Her name is Megan. They went out to his favorite bar, and who was there? His ex-girlfriend. When he walked to go get some drinks, his ex approached him in tears, and then he had to pull her to the back of the bar and have like a half an hour conversation. During that time, Megan, the girl that he was out with, left and hasn't talked to him since, other than a text message that just said, I don't play like that.
Oh, man.
So we're assuming she saw him talking to his ex and doesn't know the full story. He at least wants to get her on the phone and tell her, hey, that was my ex-girlfriend. That doesn't mean anything. All right, Kyle, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Kyle, this is going to be a really hard sell to get her to go out with you again.
Hey, I'm the victim in all of this, okay? Like, I didn't get a chance to explain what happened. It's not my fault. This is a circumstance that happened beyond my control. Yes. And I feel like I deserve another chance because, like, my ex scared her away from me than me. At least have me alienate you, not my ex, you know?
If I'm going to screw this date up, I want it to be on my own terms, not my ex-girlfriend's terms.
Correct.
Okay, I'm dialing her phone number right now. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is Megan there?
This is she.
Hey, Megan, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I don't know who that is.
You've never heard the radio show before, Brooke and Jubal in the Morning?
Is this like a prank call?
No, it isn't. My name is Jubal, and I host the radio show that I just mentioned. It's called Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay.
And I have a question for you.
Look, is this going to take a really long time?
No, it won't take a long time. It's actually about somebody that you know.
All right, so what?
And the guy that wanted us to call you today, his name is Kyle. Do you remember going out with?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I don't
not,
want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
You don't have to have anything to do with him, but we just want to know why you're not calling him back. He said that you left your date early, and then all he heard from you was a text message that said you don't play like that. So.
Yeah. No. No. I got nothing for him. I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
Whoa.
Can you at least give us a little bit so we can tell him what the problem is?
I mean, he should know what the problem is. We were there 15 minutes, and he went off to, like, have a private huddle with some drunk girl in the corner. And so I thought, okay, she's easy pickings because she's already wasted. I don't even know what. And so I'm like, I'm out of here. F all this, you know.
Yeah.
And I go outside, and she follows me outside.
What?
This hysterical mess of mascara follows me outside, reeking of tequila.
Oh my gosh.
And angry. And she's like, you can't have him. He doesn't want you. She proceeds to tell me that they slept together the night before.
Oh,
What?
boy.
and that he was still in love with her, and she was a mess.
Okay. I was going to say, when you started talking about the girl crying, I was like, going to explain the story that was his ex-girlfriend. But apparently you already know all of that.
Oh, no, I know everything about the relationship. I know that he cheated on her 3 months in.
What?
I know. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I know they had a pregnancy scare.
What?
I know every. Oh, yeah.
How do you know all this?
This girl got deep.
She got deep, dude. She got deep in a short amount of time, and because she comes out. Okay, here's the deal. She comes out all combative, and I'm like, you keep him. You can have him. I don't want him. I was like, this is a first date, and it sort of felt like, if I'm being honest, it sort of felt like I was used as a pawn in their relationship drama.
What?
Oh, wait. Wait, hold on.
Like he took you to that bar knowing that she was there, so she would see it?
Yeah, that's really what it felt like to me.
No.
So did you feel sorry for her?
I mean, at first I was like, all right, I'm going to take my earrings off and this is going to happen. In a real way. And then she was just so broken and defeated and I started consoling her because she was sick with grief.
Yeah.
And now we're Facebook friends, I guess.
What? Now you're Facebook friends with his crazy ex?
I guess, man. She asked me my name, and like 2 seconds later, when I finally get an Uber, it's like, you have a friend request, and it's like, wow. Okay.
How long were you talking to her?
Honestly, like 15 minutes. Because like after she realized I am not a threat and I was disgusted myself with the man, then she needed a hug. And she started talking about, the sisterhood of women and how we're treated so badly.
Oh my God, I feel like just even hear this story, I'm like, you were the angel that was put into her life to help her get over her ex.
I spent the entire night consoling his ex while I wait for my Uber.
That's pretty good first date story.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys set people up, but if anybody needs it, hey,
They need it.
Well, we don't set people up often except to tell them that Kyle is actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you right now.
Ha ha.
No, I'm serious. No, I'm 100% serious, Megan.
No, man, seriously?
Yeah.
Megan, it's me, Kyle. Holy
Oh,
did that really happen?
I don't know why you're even on the phone right now.
I'm so sorry this happened. I didn't know she confronted you in the parking lot. That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, this whole thing is crazy, and you made it even weirder by doing all of this stuff instead of just letting it die.
The reason I wanted to contact you is because I want to explain on my end what happened, and I just want to get a second chance.
No! Are you out of your mind? I Not in a million years. Not in a million years would I ever subject myself to that again. And besides, man, I gotta be honest, I know everything. I know way too much about everything. So with that intel, I can confidently tell you there is zero interest.
Hey, I don't know what she told you, but I'm just saying right now, at least 30% of that stuff she told you is not true.
At least 30%. You're not claiming that all of it's not true,
That's not
Kyle?
a very good percentage, Kyle.
Well, I mean, dude, she's a liar, but I don't know. Sometimes she says, like, some truthful stuff, but she's messed up in the head. So, I mean, I would not take what she says.
You guys are perfect for each other. You guys, honestly, could not be more perfect for one another. So I am out. I'm out. Peace out.
Well, don't say it yet, Megan. I haven't even asked you yet. Would you like to go out on a second date with Kyle? We will pay for it.
Come on.
Free date.
I know, but hell no would I want to go out with Kyle again.
I think that Megan may be the smartest woman we ever had on a second date.
Thank you. If you get women that actually say yes to this, then there's a big problem with us females.
Come on. It's just been a whole big misunderstanding. I got screwed because my ex was at a bar. Like, it was just a weird situation. It was like a weird... I had nothing to do with that. Like, I'm a nice guy. We were vibing a lot.
Yeah, no, we were vibing at the beginning, and then I spent more time vibing with your ex-girlfriend over what douche you are.
I mean, Kyle, you've got to just give it up. Imagine if the tables were turned and it was her ex-boyfriend at the bar and this scene went down.
I would totally understand. I would totally understand.
You're such a liar.
Easy to say.
Yeah, right. Well, Megan, thank you for being honest with us and telling us what happened.
Yeah, no problem.
And better luck in the future on your dating life, okay?
God willing.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Somebody texted in a very good point at 78592. They said Megan should be on Battle of the Tinder Dates. Yes, she should. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. We're talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, Stu Kyle wanted to call a girl named Megan. They met off of Tinder, and during their date, his ex-girlfriend actually showed up, which is obviously an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Usually that's not like something like, oh, hey, how are you? Sit down, have a drink with us.
Hey, how pleasant to see you.
Well, we got Megan on the phone, and she told us that Kyle's ex followed her outside of the restaurant and told her that they slept together the night before and that she was still in love with him. And, of course, there was a lot of tears when she was telling her that.
I don't know why Megan wasn't like, cool, this is going to be a great relationship.
Yeah, this is off to the right start.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
Kyle was shocked that his ex did that, followed her outside and told her all that stuff, but he also said he was 30% sure that the stuff the ex told her wasn't true. 30%. So there's still a lot of it that was true. Megan wasn't interested in hearing his excuses, and they are not going on a second date. Remember,
What do you want to bet he's on the phone with his ex
probably,
right now?
or in bed with his ex right now.
right.
Or in bed, whatever. They can talk about it in the morning.
Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Move at 92.5.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
In my opinion, it's always a good date when the possibility of handcuffs getting whipped out comes into play.
On a first date. Wow.
Not everybody feels that way. Like Frank, who's on the phone for a second date update right now. What's up, Frank?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much. So you almost got the handcuffs put on you, huh? On a first date. That's what I like to hear.
It's like Freaky Frank already, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun, Frank, your email about your date, but I guess it wasn't?
Yeah, it wasn't what I would love to exactly have, but that's how it goes.
You sound awkward just even saying that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't one of my proudest moments, really.
Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the girl that you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Jenna.
Jenna. And how did you meet Jenna?
We met through some mutual friends, just at a party, and we were both hanging out, and just there seemed to be a little bit of a clicking. You know what I mean?
Okay, so did you know immediately that you wanted to ask her out?
Oh, definitely. She was hilarious,
Oh, awesome.
I love that she was just had a great sense of humor, and she had an awesome smile, and she had this really cute mole. It was between her left eye and her nose. And
Cute mole, huh?
it's going to sound a little normally I'm not really into moles at all. They kind of weird me out, but he was rocking it. You know what I mean? There's something about it that was super...
Something sexy about a girl who's not scared to rock her mole. I agree with you on that one, Frank.
It was like a sexy mole. So,
Obviously worked because you guys went out on a date, right? Yeah. Tell us about the date.
Well, I love indie films, so I asked her to see this indie film that my friend actually worked on. He was a cinematographer on it, and he was just super talented, and I just wanted to go support.
So how was the movie?
It was, I thought it was good. At one point, I was kind of nervous, too, because I had French onion soup at lunch, and I was I didn't have a chance to brush my teeth, so I was worried, I don't know, if I had bad breath or something. But
all those onions.
she leaned in at some point, so I felt okay, this is going great,
She leaned in to kiss you during the film?
Just to be closer, I think, just kind of lean up against me, but it was just I think she was just trying to get closer.
Right. Okay. And you didn't try to kiss her at that point?
I didn't kiss her, but I was thinking, all right, this is we're going to get a kiss at the end of the night, you know?
Yeah, it's a good romantic move there.
Did you get a kiss at the end of things?
No. Here's what happened after that. So the movie got out, and then, we're driving, and I ended up getting pulled over, and I guess my taillight was out or something. That's what the cops said, and I was just talking my way out of it just because I already have 2 tickets, and I just I don't want to jack up my insurance.
Right.
So So I thought I was a pretty smooth talker, and it seemed to be okay. And it just felt different after, for some reason. Like
After you got pulled over?
yeah, like when I got back in the car, and I was like, that was weird. And she, she kind of didn't really wasn't laughing like I thought she would have or something.
Wait, they had you out of the car?
Yeah, that's my question, too. That's extreme.
Yeah, I got out of the car to talk to the cop because I just didn't want her to hear, anything was going on. And
I thought it was a lot worse. Like the cop said, get out of the car, like that kind of thing.
Gun drawn.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that dramatic.
Wait a minute, though. Why didn't you want her to hear?
I don't know. When I'm on a first date with someone, I don't want exactly for them to hear that it's like, oh, this isn't my first ticket. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want her to think I'm like some irresponsible guy getting tickets all the time,
Okay.
And so what happened when you guys actually got back to her house and you said goodnight?
So I drove her back to her place, and, I'm thinking I'm still going to get a kiss, by the end of the night. And I took her to her door, and she's just like, no, sorry, just not feeling it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait, so you went in for a kiss and she denied you?
Yeah, she's just like, sorry, it was just weird. It just was kind of cut off.
All right.
And I asked her, I was like, can I call you? And she's like, she was just really vague. She's like, okay. But it didn't feel like she was super interested.
Not absolutely call me, just, okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Sure. I wonder what could have happened from the time you went to talk to the cop to getting back into the car that would have made her seem so cold.
I don't know. I have this weird theory that maybe she dated that cop or something.
What?
I don't know. I just was thinking
You've just been sitting on this, making up stories since you went on your date of things that could have possibly been wrong, right?
I don't know, because I can't figure it out. It was why would you suddenly just not want to talk or not even accept my kiss?
That is reading deep, sir.
Well, I don't know. I thought I was thinking that. I was thinking is it my breath? Was it the French onion soup?
The breath?
All kinds of things.
Slept with the police officer.
Have you tried to call her since the date? I mean, have you tried to reach out to her?
Yeah, and just nothing.
Nothing at all.
Hasn't. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update. All right?
All right. Cool.
Okay. Hang on, man.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
I'm actually really surprised that the guy on the phone to do a second date update today isn't getting a call back because he's a bad boy.
Oh.
That's right. If you missed the first part of today's second date update, Frank is on the phone and he wants to call a girl named Jenna. And on their first date, he got pulled over, got into a physical altercation with a cop, and then took them on a high-speed chase down the freeway, which eventually ended in the car rolling over 6 times before he was taken into custody.
God, his story has gotten a lot better in the last couple minutes since the last time we talked to him.
Actually, he got pulled over after they went to the movies and then talked his way out of a ticket.
Yeah.
And then after he talked his way out of the ticket, when he got back in the car, she was very awkward and was hardly talking to him. Yeah. At the end of the night, when he dropped her off, he went in for a kiss. She said no. And then he asked if he could call her again. She said, okay. And then he called her again and hasn't heard a thing. Frank?
Hey, guys.
It would have sounded cooler if you would have done all those things that I said you did, by the way.
Yeah, I guess. But, I did something.
Hey, next time.
At least I did something.
Yeah. We live to date again. The next date you go on, high-speed chase.
Yeah,
Gets him every time.
The cop.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh, Frank.
All right, buddy, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you guys give out such good advice.
Really do.
I mean.
All right, man. I'm going to dial her phone number right now, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, I was looking for Jenna.
Hi, this is Jenna.
Hey, Jenna. What's going on?
Not much. May I ask who's calling?
Sure.
Are you going to answer her?
I don't know. I mean, you can ask.
Oh, you're waiting.
Would you like to know who it is?
Who's calling me? What's going on?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. How are you?
Fine. Why are you calling me?
I'm calling you because one of our listeners actually sent us an email about you. His name is Frank.
What?
Yeah. His name is Frank, and you guys recently went to a movie together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank told us that after your date, he's been trying to get a hold of you because he would like to see you again, and you haven't been responding to any of his phone calls or text messages or anything.
Oh my gosh.
So Frank asked us if we could call you and find out why you don't want to see him again.
There's no way that this is real.
No, this is 100% real. It's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Frank wants to know why you're not answering the phone.
Oh my gosh.
So are you laughing at the fact that a radio station is calling you, or just the thought of Frank?
Just that he isn't taking me not calling him back and he's having you guys call me. That's very funny.
Well, I think he knows that you've blown him off. Now he just wants to know why, so he figured we could maybe find that out. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your date?
Well, my date wasn't great, but I don't want to talk behind his back, especially on the radio.
Yeah, but it's really not behind his back if you think about it. He's the one that asked us to make this phone call. It's not like we're doing it out of the blue.
Yeah. Well, maybe don't tell him this exact version, but I just can't go out with a guy that I don't respect.
Whoa, that got more serious than I expected it to. I thought you were going to say he's got a weird haircut or something.
Why don't you respect him?
I mean, I don't know how much he told you about the date.
Okay, he told us that he took you to a movie, and then there was an awkward moment when he got pulled over for having a brake light out or something. And then he talked to the cop, got out of the ticket, and when he got back in the car, he said that you were very cold to him. And then you wouldn't kiss him when he dropped you off, and then he said that you haven't answered his phone calls. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you his theory on why he thinks you're not calling him back?
Sure.
Because I guess he's been racking his brain for reasons, and he was thinking that maybe the cop that pulled you guys over was somebody that you used to date.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so extreme.
So you're laughing at that. I'm guessing that's not the case. You didn't date that cop?
No, I did not.
Oh,
He just can't figure it out because according to him, everything was great until he got pulled over, and then after that, you were weird.
Well, he thinks I didn't see what he did, but I saw it.
What did he do?
So we get pulled over. He immediately gets out of the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Stay in the car. The cop's freaking out. He's telling him to get back in the car.
Really?
Yeah. And then he starts crying to the cop to get out of it.
Tears?
Yes, he's blubbering. He's like, please, officer, I'm on a date and I have all these other tickets and I just really need a break today. It was insane.
I'm picturing a huge scene, the cop with his gun drawn and him sobbing.
No, I mean, it wasn't that dramatic, but they just went to the back of the car and, apparently thought I couldn't hear anything, but I heard everything.
So was he, maybe he was legitimately crying. Some people get really scared and nervous when they get pulled over.
No, because then he gets back in the car and he's all bragging to me well, I really, smoothed my way through that, really talked my way out of that one. How impressive is this?
So he was telling you that when he didn't think that you heard he was crying?
Yeah.
Was he still in tears when he got in the car?
No, I mean, he wiped away his eyes, but he was totally, all smooth talker, look what I just did.
What? Why didn't you just call him out on it?
I don't know why I didn't in the moment, but in my mind the whole time I'm thinking, did you just really cry to get out of the ticket?
The cop was even like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
It worked. He didn't get a ticket. Yeah. I think it's a great move.
Well, yeah, he didn't get a ticket, but he also didn't get a chance to go out with me again.
Well, thank you for telling us your story, Jenna. I do also want to tell you, I hope that he's not crying right now, but Frank is actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah. Frank?
Yeah.
Wow, Frank.
Oh, my God.
Is what Jenna says true?
You thought I was crying. I mean, are you a moron? It was fake. I just tried to get out of the ticket. It's called acting. You know what I mean?
Did you just call me a moron? I just told him what happened.
Yeah, I did.
Are you... Okay, well, now not only are you sad and pathetic, but you're also rude.
Well, what was I supposed to do? You were like, we get pulled over for like nothing. You're doing nothing to help. You're like freaking out like it's like an earthquake or something.
Whoa.
And, I was
What kind of man are you? You can't even handle getting a ticket. You just speak to the officer, you explain the situation. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah, well, you could have like gotten out or done something like, hey, show them some cleavage, and
What? Are you kidding me? Frank!
Yeah, that is the least you could have done, like just show them boobs. Then I wouldn't have had to get out of it.
So you're blaming her for you getting out of the car and crying to the cop to try to get out of a ticket.
And you're suggesting that I flashed this cop? Are you kidding me?
All she was doing was just panicking the whole time. She was just freaking out the whole time, and she was like, my God.
I wasn't freaking out. I was just sitting there like anyone would do when they get a ticket. You were the one who was totally freaking out.
Yeah, no, I was the one who handled it.
Handled it like a 16-year-old girl.
You know what? I was proud of myself, and you should be proud that someone handled the situation.
I didn't know what to do. You're sitting there wailing to this poor cop about how you've got all these other tickets and you're on a date, and how can I possibly respect you when you get back in the car?
Jenna, you're obviously not used to going out with a real man.
Frank, are you just really embarrassed? Is that why you're being so aggressive?
No. Jenna said I was crying. I was not crying. I was fake crying. Okay? There's like a major difference.
Oh.
Hey, Jenna, I would love to ask if you guys would like to go on a second date. Jenna, would you like to go out with Frank again? We'll pay for it.
No.
Oh, what are you talking about, Jenna? What good are you if you can't use your boobs properly?
You know what? I thought you were cool. Like we laughed about the Ghostbusters and like laughed our tails off, and you're just like, have no respect for someone taking care of a situation and handling it like a real man does fake cry.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years.
Right.
A real man will fake cry to get his way out of things. Like anytime anybody's been aggressive with me, wanting to fight in a bar or something like that, I cry and I run out. And that's what real men do.
You want to handle this like real men?
Pretty much it.
So that's a no, Jenna? No second date with Frank?
No, and good luck to him finding someone who will.
Oh.
Sorry, Frank.
Jenna, that's fine. I don't care, because if I had to do it again, I would fake cry to another cop, whatever I have to do.
All right, well, it wasn't a successful second date for you, Frank, but you did help us learn a lesson today. That fake crying is the manly way to get out of things. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 says, why can't I find a guy like that? I love a fake crier. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. Talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, Frank took Jenna to the movies, and Frank admitted that afterwards he was pulled over by the police, but managed to talk his way out of the ticket. But he was confused why Jenna wasn't returning any of his calls. We called Jenna, and she told us Frank got out of the ticket by crying to the police officer. Not by anything else, just crying. Frank defended himself, saying that he faked it and thought she should be proud of him for handling the situation. And actually, real men fake cry. That's what he said. He's a real man and he fake cries.
I think he really cried and he's too embarrassed to admit it, which he shouldn't be. That's a stressful situation.
Jenna decided not to go out with him again. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, email the show and we will call the person that didn't call you back. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
The girl that's on the line to do a second date update today met the guy that she went out with at a very dirty place. That's right.
Whoa.
Bacteria infested, blood everywhere.
That's not
Creepy
normal.
old men who just can't wait to get in your mouth.
What?
I'm talking about the dentist's office.
Oh.
That's,
Makes sense. They are all creepy there.
Yes, they are. That's where Andrea met the guy that she wants us to call today. Apparently, she works at a dentist's office, and that's where she met him.
Okay.
How you doing, Andrea?
I'm pretty good.
Did you ever think of your office like I just spoke about it?
It doesn't exactly make people want to go to the dentist's office.
No, it is very...
Hygiene is very important. So
Your email said that you met this guy at work and you work at a dentist's office. How'd you meet him?
I work as a receptionist, and he was a new patient. He came in, and when he was like checking in, we were just flirting with each other. We seemed to have an instant connection.
Whoa, hold on. Are you allowed to hit on patients as the receptionist?
I mean, he was hitting on me. I was just receiving it.
You were innocent party in this, I see.
Sure, absolutely. And he was cute and stuff, so I flirted back with him.
And when he filled out his form and put his phone number down, you saved it and then called him later.
No, that's illegal, actually. So
okay.
What I did was he went in and he had his appointment, and then when he came out, usually we want to schedule you for your next appointment. And when I was scheduling him for his follow-up appointment, he gave me his phone number, and he said we should go out.
Oh, that's cool. So where'd you guys go?
Well, we ended up going out to dinner. And I got really dressed up. I thought I was looking really cute. And he took me to this restaurant. It was in a building that had a very, very nice view. It was a really nice restaurant. I'd never been there before.
Did you guys meet there, or did he pick you up?
He picked me up. And so, I thought we had a lovely time at dinner. And he has beautiful eyes. And he is just a smoking build. I mean, the guy works out and stuff.
I'm hoping during dinner you reminded him the whole time about his dental hygiene. Like, make sure you floss before and after this meal.
She's a receptionist there.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, he has a dynamite smile, too. I thought that we had great conversation during the date, and we talked about going to concerts and stuff. We both really love movies. There was one awkward moment while we were talking about movies. So, I mean, I don't know if that was a deal breaker, but...
Did you bring up a movie that he liked and you didn't like, and then he got super angry at you?
Well, no, he was talking about... He's a real big fan of this guy's movies, and I had never heard of him. He's like, God.
Are you trying to remember right now even who it was?
Martin... It's Martin Scorsese?
Martin Scorsese. He's a big director.
He's like one of the biggest guys in movies ever.
Ever.
Don't know anything.
Okay. Hey, I don't blame you.
Never heard of the guy.
Okay. I don't blame you for not knowing who he is.
He's like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he's a really huge name in movies, but did your date seem put off by that you didn't know who Martin Scorsese was? I wouldn't think that'd be a huge deal.
Well, it made me feel just kind of ditzy and stupid and like kind of insecure that I didn't know who this guy was.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe that's it.
You didn't pretend like you knew him, though. Like, you were honest.
Well, he kept trying to tell me his name, and I kept on trying to give it back to him, like pronouncing it over, and I don't know why. It's a tongue twister for me.
Try and say it for us right now.
Scorsese?
It's Scorsese. Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese?
No, not Stacy. Scorsese.
I'm not hearing it, I guess, correctly or something. Is there a T in it?
No, there's no T. There's some names that people have trouble with no matter what. Obviously, you have trouble saying Martin Scorsese.
I guess so.
I could see how if you're going to claim to be a real movie lover and you not know these things, that it could maybe make you come off as a liar.
I know Julia Roberts says.
Okay, there we go.
You just like different kinds of movies. So how did everything end with this guy?
We concluded the date. I mean, after dinner, we actually walked around for a little while and seemed to be okay. But the date ended with just a hug, and I haven't gotten a call back from him.
Would you have kissed him if you went in for the kiss?
Sure.
So were you disappointed that it was a hug?
Of course I'm disappointed. I told you he had a hot butt.
All right. And how long has it been since your date?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
For those of you who don't know what this song is, it was a song made famous by the movie Goodfellas. A very huge movie directed by one Martin Skorbensky. Or Martin Shorshinsky. Or Martin Skormy some sashimi sushi. I don't know exactly how to say his name, but he's a very, very famous man in Hollywood. And he's the reason that Andrea, the girl who's on the phone for a second date update, thinks that she's not getting a call back today. She was out on a date with a guy named Austin. They were having fun. They brought up movies. He brought up that he's a big Martin Scorsese fan. She had never heard of Martin Scorsese and still can't figure out how to get her to pronounce his name correctly. But she thinks that he's not calling her back because he might have thought that she was kind of ditzy or whatever. Yeah. Andrea, are you ready to go?
I am.
Have you figured out how to say the name yet?
Scorsese.
No. That's a mixture between him and Patrick Swayze, who is no longer with us. Anyway, we're getting closer to you getting it correct. All right, I'm going to dial the phone number right now and see if we can get him on the phone. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is Austin there?
Yeah, this is Austin.
Hey, Austin, what's up? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm sorry, who's this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
I think you probably have the wrong number.
No, I don't think I do. I think I'm talking to the right guy.
No, I don't know who you are. I think you've got the wrong number probably.
No, I think I have the right number. I think I really need to speak with you about something.
All right. What does a radio show need to talk to me about?
Well, it's about a date that you recently went on with one of our listeners. Her name is Andrea, and she actually emailed us asking if we could get you on the phone.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Emailed a radio station trying to get me on the phone?
Yes, it's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Andrea is wondering why you haven't been returning any of her phone calls.
Wait, so she emailed you and asked you to call me to ask me why I didn't call her back?
Yes.
Like, this is something that you guys do for your listeners?
Yep, it is. It's kind of a public service for them. And it's a learning situation. You know, they get to hear what they did wrong on a date so they don't hopefully do it again.
And she really wanted you to call me?
Mm-hmm. Because she likes you. Should she know why you're not calling her back? Is it something that should be obvious to her?
I don't know. I don't think it would be obvious to her, to be honest with you, no.
Okay, well, she seemed nice when we talked to her about the date.
Oh, she's perfectly pleasant, and
Okay.
I think she's a nice girl.
Are you just not attracted to her or something?
Yeah.
She's a very attractive. You know, there's just again, there was just some weird things that happened on the date that just made me not feel like we really should hang out again.
Can I tell you what she thinks it is, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong?
Sure, if you want to go ahead, that's fine.
She thinks that you're not calling her back because she didn't know who Martin Scorsese is, and can't pronounce his name.
I mean, yeah, it was honestly, it was pretty wild. All right, maybe you don't know him, but you at least know some of his movies. You know, like Gangs of New York's pretty recent, or The Departed won an Oscar. You know, at least pronounce his name right after I teach you. Come on.
It's usually pretty easy to say a name after you've heard it.
Oh,
when we talked to her,
you guys.
when we talked to her, we tried to say it to her too. She still couldn't get it.
I always,
But she thinks that's why you're not calling her back.
but come on,
Is
that
that the
can't
reason?
be a reason. She can't pronounce a
No,
name.
I mean, it was pretty strange, but it's not the reason.
Okay, can you tell us what the reason is then?
So, all right, so I take her to this restaurant, and it's a pretty nice restaurant. We get brought to our table, and the waitress pulls out the chair for her to sit down at the table, and she hops up on the chair, like feet on the chair, standing on the chair in the middle of the restaurant. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Did you say she stood on the chair?
Yeah, like literally put her feet, stood 3 feet over everybody who was standing, stood on the chair because she said that the view from up there was breathtaking and she needed to take a picture for Instagram. So she stood on the chair and took a picture of the restaurant room with some windows in the background showing the view that we could see. On her, from standing on her, it was embarrassing. It was one of the most embarrassing things. This is an expensive restaurant we went to.
Maybe she's never been to a nice restaurant before, and she was just shocked to be there. And
I'd be embarrassed to be there with her standing on the chairs at a McDonald's.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I was trying to help justify it for you somehow.
It's cute. She gets excited about beautiful things.
No, and I agree. Like, if Andrea had only done it once, that would have been one thing. But like, this odd Instagram behavior just kept happening and happening. For example, we're leaving the restaurant, and she stops in the middle of us leaving. It's like, I really need to take a picture with this view in the background. So she like literally basically throws me her phone and runs over to the window, and she gets into like this weird like yoga pose basically where she's got her leg behind her head and she's grabbing it with the other side arm, and I basically am sitting on someone's table while they're eating, trying to take a picture of her for Instagram doing a yoga pose in a restaurant in front of these windows. Like I said, it was weird. I don't want to go on a date with someone and be their professional Instagram photographer.
Come on. You don't want to add that to your list of job duties that you can do? Like special skills section on your resume. I'm a photographer.
Maybe if she was going to pay me for it, but the fact that I'm paying for dinner, I'm picking her up, we're going out on my dime, and I'm also her photographer for her pictures by herself. Give me a break. I don't need this in my life.
You know what else is kind of annoying?
What's that?
She's actually on the other line listening right now and wants to talk to you.
That's not funny at all.
Andrea, are you there?
I am.
Oh, my God. This is
Austin,
pretty shady, guys.
really, Austin, you have a problem with the fact that I like taking photographs? I like taking pictures of my Instagram. I have a lot of fans on there. And I'm kind of known for doing poses in different places.
I mean, that's fantastic news, but I mean, we were out on a date. I figured you could maybe focus on our date rather than your Instagram followers who you don't actually know. Like, if you're going to show some interest in someone, at least sit there and be a part of what's going on rather than thinking about, well, how can I best interact with these strangers on the internet? Like,
He has a really good point, Andrea.
People that follow me on Instagram, they like to know what I'm doing. And so, I share it and stuff, and they like it.
Andrea, at one point, you handed me your phone and took my phone so that I could take a picture of you looking at a phone in front of a brick wall.
Shut up. That is not true.
Did that
you
really happen?
do that?
It 100% happened. It made no sense. She was looking at my phone with me taking a picture of her phone so she could post herself looking at any phone in front of a brick wall on Instagram.
Andrea.
It was a great picture. It got like 400 likes.
I'll
That's
tell
pretty
you,
good.
It got one unlike from me. I did not like taking it.
Andrea, I don't think that's the point. Like, if he spent his entire time on his phone or maybe even doing his hobby while he was on a date with you, you would have found it incredibly rude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about a lot of different things. I mean, we had a whole discussion about movies and how much we both love movies.
You're going to bring up the movies again? You're going to bring up the movies?
I thought we had a nice conversation about movies, but I guess not.
It was fine. Again, the whole thing was just fine.
Andrea, you don't see how it could be a little bit annoying that you're taking pictures every 5 seconds and making him basically your hired photographer for the evening.
Instagram is the wave of the future, and if you're not on Instagram, then you're not a part of the future. So that really sucks for you.
Oh, God. I think you work for Instagram. This is ridiculous.
Oh, gosh.
Well, you know what, Austin, I would love to ask you this question. Would you like to go out with Andrea on a second date? We will pay for it.
Andrea, again, you're super sweet, and there's another Instagrammer out there for you. But that dude is not me.
Whatever. I get hit up by so many guys on my Instagram. I don't even need to go out on a date with you.
Oh, sweetheart.
All right.
No, it doesn't sound like you do.
No, I guess not. Andrea, thank you. I'm sorry it wasn't a successful second date update.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Before we let you go, though, do you need to take a picture of yourself on the phone doing a second date update?
I never thought of that. I should totally do that.
No, you should not do that.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, my goodness.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.